season.
Schedule is set up well. And then how about this one in the ACC?
Now, you want to talk
Virginia
about
Tech
kickers.
in Miami?
A 58-yarder was made, a 56-yarder was made, a 52-yarder was made, all in crunch time. Big game.
That was Andres Borregales just before the half. Now, late in the third quarter, Kyron Drones to P.J. Prelo.
It's the last play of the third quarter, up 3, chance to go up 10. All of a sudden, flag, holding call. Yeah. A holding call. They bring it back. I don't know if they're going to show it. Very questionable call.
They are.
Watch 68. Watch what gets him is the follow through with the right hand, but that was not a holding call.
Good sell. It's good sell.
Yeah, he sold it, though.
That's a good sell.
And now Miami's trailing by 3. It's like, look, this is 4th down. Xavier Restrepo making the catch from his booty.
That's when you know it's your night. When you make a catch like that, that was incredible.
If not that, then this.
Yeah, there's a special moment. Cam Ward having a special
Absolutely,
year.
bro.
Especially, it's a 3-point game.
Same drive, too.
Yeah.
Riley Williams takes it to the doorstep, and then
That was Michael Irvin.
The playmaker. Absolutely. But look at this. Virginia Tech's not done.
Yes.
Into the end zone.
Hail Mary.
Knock it down.
Knock it down. He caught it.
What?
He called it a touchdown. Touchdown.
No, the ball's moving. The ball's moving.
No, you can't even see the ball.
It's moving. The ball's never secured. It was never secured.
After replay review, they called it a touchdown on the field. Replay review and a statement from the ACC said that during the catch, when the ball came dislodged momentarily, a Miami player who was out of bounds touched it into the play. That was the call. Well, I don't know if it's inconclusive.
I don't care.
Me neither.
His foot was down. He was laying, had possession of the ball. Then it got dislodged. You know, I mean,
it survived the ground.
If I were Virginia, he survived. He was laying on the ground.
How about them overturning that, too?
That's the problem. Like, it was called a touchdown on the
Whatever
field.
the field is,
that was the problem.
I don't know how you flip that.
Yeah.
You know, but one of the things that used to really gripe me as a coach
Talk
was
to his
like
coach.
the holding call that we saw.
Yeah.
The official sees a guy go down. Sometimes you just make a good block, especially when you have a good offensive line.
And that's
they
what
see the
happened.
guy go down, and they say, well, he must have held him,
Right.
and they throw the flag.
Yeah.
So, and you never want the game to come down to what I call Big Ben. And we always practice against that play.
Yep.
And I've lost a game on that play, man, and it is a heartbreaking way to
Balls
lose.
in the air.
Ooh.
You're just holding your breath.
What do you coach the secondary to do in that situation? What do you coach them to do?
Well, we always tried to match up underneath and have the players run down the field with the players that were going after the pass.
Correct.
So you could box them out in front.
Okay.
Just like basketball.
Absolutely.
And then the 3 deep guys would all go up to get the ball, but knock it down.
Knock it down.
Don't
There you go.
knock it up. Knock it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and real quick, the other game, Rutgers 4-0 for the first time since 2012. Greg Schiano doing a hell of a job. And Kyle Monangai, maybe the most underrated player in college football. Doing a heck of a job. He's second in the nation right now.
For Rutgers.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing, though, if you look at this, Miami was terrible in close games last year. Maybe they got a break, whatever. They were 1-4 in one-possession games a year ago. Now they win one like this.
Quarterback.
They're the favorite in the SEC and the ACC.
Yeah, I picked them to win the ACC. I think that, they have a lot of talent. But the defense right now is a concern. Offensively, listen, Cam Ward made a lot of mistakes, turned the ball over multiple times, even once in the red zone. But when they needed him to come up big, especially in the second half of the fourth quarter, he did. Defensively, though, they could not stop a nosebleed. They're going to have to get that defense fixed if they're going to win the ACC. ACC is wide open, but they got some talent, man. So they got to get that defense fixed.
To your point about Cam Ward and you saying the quarterback is the reason, it's like not only vibes and leadership-wise, whenever they needed it in the second half, he started running that thing. And he took a lot of big-time shots after big-time runs, scoring a touchdown, flexing a little bit, keeping him in there. It's amazing what some good leadership from the quarterback position can do to an entire community. And I think we were chatting about this yesterday. Coach Cristobal understands, like, hey, we got really high hopes this year. Let's pay attention to detail. Let's do accountability while we still have our moxie and our swag. And I don't want to throw up a false flag, but you're winning games like that. They're going to the ACC in Charlotte, overturning touchdowns. The U might be back. You might be back completely. Playmakers yelling on the sideline. Ed Reed's down there. I think The Rock's running around.
You'll love this. The last time Miami finished in the top 10 in the end of a season in college football, 2003.
Wow.
Think about that. Over 20 years ago was the last time. So, but they got a quarterback, so they got a chance, and they're believing. Louisville, big game with Notre Dame. No one ever talks about them. Still right in the mix. They have some big games coming up. Really, they don't play anybody. They have one ranked team left on their schedule, and the forgotten team is Clemson. Look at their schedule. Tell me a game that they're going to be an underdog. This ACC race, I think, is still open, but those are the three right now in a pole position.
Well, I think the key to the drill is how do you respond at this point in the season to the success that you have? It's like Miami. Are they going to be able to take this game and improve the parts of their team, whether it's the receivers, whether it's a secondary, whatever it is, so that they can get better as a team? Is that going to happen at Clemson? Is it going to happen at Louisville? Or do you go in the tank because things aren't going the way you want them to go? So your mindset moving forward at this point in the season, to me, is critical. Rat poison, if you think about the headlines and you're 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever, that can kill your team's ability to stay focused on doing the little things right, pay attention to detail, and then it starts to show up in poor performance, which I saw that a little bit last night in Miami, to be honest with you.
You start believing some of that hype and got to keep them focused and keep that chip on their shoulder. Miami entered this year trying to prove everybody wrong. They don't want to, like Coach is saying, too many pats on the back.
And to your point about Miami staying focused and going forward, I think the reason for 21 years they haven't been really in it is because a lot of distractions in Miami, especially if you're winning. This guy's moving 1,000 Mercedes-Benzes a month in Miami. 1,000 a month. There's a lot of distractions down there in Miami. So if Coach Cristobal can keep them going in the right direction with all the success, Godspeed. In the NIL era where they don't even have to get backdoor conversation money, they got money. It's like
the distractions are good for business, not so good for football.
The whole key is to move those Mercedes and those Ferraris toward really good players, which maybe Miami has done. Former Miami coach Manny Diaz sitting there. Nobody mentions him. They're undefeated. They've got Carolina Day, maybe the last shot at Old Mac. But how are you looking at this ACC?
I just think about Miami. What do you always say about a loss?
Well, I say if you're not good enough, loss will find you.
That last night, that version of Miami kind of looked like it. What's up?
9-3 this guy.
3-0 last week. 9-3.
Hey, quick clap for our friend Steve. He's picking games right.
Are you kidding me?
Good
yeah,
thing you
Steve.
Take it. We'll take it.
People were telling you they were losing their mortgages last year whenever they were taking on the right
They were
side.
saying worse than that.
Yeah, I agree. It's Saturday morning.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Kent State's playing again. Looks like they're on their third quarterback now. Eastern Michigan's going there. We're going to take Eastern Michigan.
Oh, what a wagon. Anybody but Kent State, it seems like.
It said earlier this week that preseason schedule didn't really help him that much for conference play. Delighted to be joined by Lane. So, Lane, with that in mind, if the non-conference schedule didn't prepare you for conference play, what did those games that you've played and been so terrific in prepare you for?
Well, it gave us a lot of confidence, so we're going to have that. But, you know, what I hope is, you know, we have really good players that we practice every day in practice, all through fall training camp, big offensive linemen, defensive linemen, which is what we're going to see today. So hopefully that's prepared us a lot.
Lane, you look really, really relaxed. I mean, much more relaxed than when I was in your ear.
Thank you.
You know, and you were calling offensive plays, and I was always second-guessing you. So, but you look good, man. You really look good. So, what have you learned about this team so far that you really like?
I really like how competitive they are. I like that, you know, a lot of these guys came here to do something special. A number of guys could have went to the NFL. They came back for a year. So I really like their chemistry. But again, we haven't really been challenged, so I think that's going to happen today. These guys got a lot of really good players, and led by their defensive front and a premier defensive lineman with number 0. So we're going to have to play really well today.
Lane, what's the thing about this team? You've changed the culture so much from when you got there to now. People expect you to win games every week. How have you managed that? You've been around USC and so many great programs throughout your coaching career, but that's new for this program. That's new for Ole Miss. What have you tried to do to get these guys to just kind of expect that, yeah, that's okay, that's normal, that's who we are now?
Well, it took us a while to get there. Been fortunate to be at places like you mentioned, USC, or with Coach Saban in Alabama, where that was the standard and expectations. You had to deal with that every week, and so that's happening now, and we're going to see that. I think a lot of people have prepared in the offseason to play against us, and we're kind of a target now, where before we weren't. A little bit easier before, so it's awesome to have this challenge and have these expectations around us, so we can be on stages like this to play.
Coach, as a girl dad myself, watching you get ready with your daughter last week on TikTok before the game was awesome. I don't know if you ended up putting any of that makeup on your face, but you look damn good, to Coach Saban's quote from earlier. I want to ask about this game that's happening here in Tuscaloosa, so I apologize. Kalen DeBoer is in his first action here as an SEC coach, taking on Georgia. What would your message be to him, and what do you expect from these Tuscaloosa, Alabama fans tonight on the global stage as Georgia comes in September?
Well, I don't think Kalen needs any advice from me. He's done a great job wherever he's been. That's going to be an unbelievable environment tonight. I'm sure it is already there. And for two of the best programs in America to be playing, should be really exciting for you guys.
Hell yeah, Coach.
Hey, Lane, check this out. I know you're in the season, so you're probably not watching a lot of television, but Coach Saban is like the subject of a lot of funny commercials nowadays. So my question to you is, when you were on staff, how often did you see that side of Coach Saban?
I love Coach, but I never saw that side. I actually have seen those commercials. I paused it, replayed it, videoed it with my phone, and I sent it to Kirby. I sent it to Sark and all these guys. I'm like, who is this guy, man? This guy's awesome.
Lane,
Make jokes.
Lane, we're gonna let you be Coach Saban.
You got to go rent a place and you got to live with him there. That's awesome.
Lane, you could be an analyst for us.
I mean, not exactly like the funnest vacation, but that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, Lane, who wins this game here in Tuscaloosa, Georgia and Alabama?
What's Georgia? Kirby's got 40-game win streak, regular season. But, that's Alabama, and they're playing on Nick Saban Field tonight, man. So I got to go Roll Tide.
Lane, very gracious to talk about the game here. Look what he's going for tonight. This afternoon, his 100th career win as an FBS coach. If the Rebels can get past Kentucky, it'll kick off in about an hour and 45 minutes here on ESPN ABC. Lane, thanks a lot for being with us, man. Always great to see you.
Good luck, Coach.
See you, bro.
Good luck. Good luck, Lane.
Good luck, Lane.
All right, guys.
By the way, that high